I know I've talked about these two books before, so let's go through them again. This first one is Fun with a Pencil by Andrew Loomis. The second one is Figure Drawing for All It's Worth, also by Andrew Loomis. So let's take a quick look through Fun with a Pencil, which I remember getting this from the school library when I was in either junior high school or high school. And I was just fascinated by it. It's 1946, pretty old book. And Andrew Loomis thought that everybody should have a chance or take the time to learn how to draw, because it's such a great thing to do to express yourself, get your ideas out, relax, do something different than your day job. Maybe you want to make a living at it someday. So these books are his advice to people that want to go into the arts. This book, Fun with a Pencil, is mostly for when people wanted to go into cartooning. And so you see him building upon the basics of the sphere, bisect it, putting features on it, tilting it, learning how to draw basic shapes, and then turning that circle into an ellipse, putting features on it, and turning it into cartoon characters. And you see it in the blue drawings, and then he finishes off with black pencil on top. Just wonderful resource. I'm pretty sure you can still get this at Amazon. There's new versions of it out that the family finally printed some years ago. You don't have to get these old versions that I got. They were in print, I think, until the 60s or 70s, and then they went away. So people could only get used versions. People charged a lot of money for those. Family finally figured out that they could bring them back. So they've been back in print for some years now. And they're just wonderful to have. You can learn so much from these. Just start copying from page 1, just like I told you to do with the Preston Blair book. And I'll do some more videos that go slower through these books to show you what they have in them and what you can learn from them, how they apply to cartooning. Just great resources. So that first part was drawing the head, then he goes into the body, putting the head on top of the body. Here he's showing you how we draw as when we're kids and how we take that and turn it into a caricature of a human being. And here he goes through how we start with that last figure, giant head, and we shrink the head, enlarge the body until it becomes normal, a regular human skeleton. But look at how he uses these stick figures to pose the figure, all kinds of different ways, tell different stories with different poses. It's just the best book you could buy. Look, stick figure, add volumes to it to become the body and the legs and arms, finish it off, go over those on contours, the outlines with black pencil or pen. Here he made his own little mannequin, called it the Doohinkus, and he poses this mannequin around. Now you can buy mannequins now at the art supply store or Michael's, wherever you get your stuff from, and use that to pose. There's Japanese versions of mannequins that are extremely posable with more detailed faces and features and body parts. So here, all different kinds of caricatures, different people, stereotypes. So now we come to the part of making a picture. Here he goes into perspective. putting the figures on the ground plane, how to place figures in a picture, how to make a picture more interesting. Just so much stuff. Here's something. Problem is to draw this setup with a chair, a table, a lamp. How do you do that? You can look at it from the top down and figure out all the spacing and sizes, and then tilt that back, and that'll give you the same. Well, you tilt it to the vanishing point, and then you'll figure out how to draw everything in there. Everything is explained in here in great detail. Can't recommend this book enough. More involved pictures. So let's look at the next book. This is Figure Drawing for All It's Worth. And this one is, it says 43 and 45. So 1945 is when this was printed. So there's all this text to get through. And then we get right into drawing the human figure. Just wonderful lessons about how to get everything done. Picks up where he left off in the other book, putting the figure into a picture, figuring out the perspective. Just great stuff here. Stick figures, posing stick figures. And these look more like skeletons here, but how to pose them and keep them lively looking. Again, can't recommend this enough. You'll find this on the Amazon as well in new versions. So here's some basic anatomy of the human arm, human leg anatomy with the muscles and bone, tendons. Again, just really great work here. You can learn so much from this. What this does for the cartoonist is shows you how anatomy actually works, what the body parts are, and then you exaggerate that to become your cartoon figure. So that's the importance of these books to the animator. Here we have figures in motion, which is a lot like the Muybridge books. More figures in motion that are drawn. Just great stuff. Can't go wrong getting these books. And let me just, so when I took this out in junior high or high school, I wanted to learn how to draw that head. And there's my copy of it back when I was 13, 14, 15. Doing my best to copy that. And that's what I came up with. This front view, I'm not sure if I did that or my brother did that. I think that one under the red, I think I did that. And my brother did that one. And I added this orange line here to figure out how to draw the body. Look at the difference of not understanding how the head fits onto the body. But that's how it is when you're just learning. So that's my attempt when I was 13 or 14 of how to draw the Loomis head. And this is my old composition book from 6th grade that I used as a sketchbook when I was in 7th and 8th grade. Anyway, see if you can track these down and you won't regret it. You can get them new or used on the Amazon or from whatever book sites you go to. And get the new editions, I guess, new or used too. So in the meantime, keep drawing and keep having fun.